Okay, the first step, the software automatically create the rig and the bone very accurate and correct for your character. If your character is symmetry and the T-pose, it works very, very well. And you need just few adjustment. For example, here, if you're going most over this marker or bone, we have a guide here. As you can see, it tells you in a green that, for example, this marker has to be in this part. And as I said before, and you saw before, we have a center line here that you can activate a snap to the center plane. It means if you set it there, snap to the center plane, a guide will be up here. I think sometimes it has a bug. I think I will go into exactly front. Okay, it has to be there. I think I turn on symmetry. As you can see, we have a guide. You have to turn on the symmetry, and you can just snap those 3 marker at the same line because it's very important. Okay, for this, as you can see, it has to be under the neck base. It tells you where you have to place it. For example, this. For example, as you can see, we active the symmetry, and the symmetry point of that will be automatically adjusted. For example, you forget to turn it on. For example, you bring it there, and you want to go exactly the symmetry part there. So it's very simple. Just select it and mirror it to the left. Don't bothering with the left or right. This is here. You have to do this arrow. Boom. And as you can see, it's bring it that. For better and accurate things, you have to activate the symmetry. And as you can see, it has to be somewhere there. And this, exactly at the shoulder. We need some adjustment here. It tells you it has to be there. It's very simple. All the others are nice. For example, this, it has to be there. And as you can see, this software automatically create the bone because of the midpoint placement at the center of that. You can go to the top and bring it at the center of this part. It tells you there. As you can see, it creates a center. Interesting of this software is the midpoint placement for a whole mesh. I'll explain it. As you can see, if you, for example, select this marker going to this part, you can turn off the symmetry and do this part. And as you can see, it automatically place this marker at this middle point of whole mesh. For example, we have classes, we have body, we have a lot of mesh. It's bringing at the center of that. But if you turn it to the front part, it does not create at such a this point. But you can change the z depths of your point, your marker in this direction. For example, at the right, exactly, to bring it there. But if you make it the whole mesh, it's automatically created here. It has to be there at the middle of your. In most cases, we need a middle of our placement. I can explain it with this image. You can better understand it. In most cases, we know we need the middle point placement. And if you turn it off, all this deactivate. Look at this image to better understand. For example, this is our front and the back mesh of our, this is the camera direction. Camera is here, and you can see the dot whole mesh. For example, we have a leg, a space between them, or a space between all of the mesh. We have some layer in between front and back. And if you activate whole mesh, it's bring that marker and the bone exactly at the middle of that character. But if you activate here, if you activate front part, for example, we have a different part of the geometry and mesh, it's bring exactly at the front part of it. And okay, you can bring, for example, for food, you can see it different. For example, if you choose that and move it, as you can see, it moved there because the middle placement and the whole mesh is active. You can see that here. But if you make the front part, if you move it, and as you can see, it does not go in this part because this is our mesh. Empty space, this is our mesh. If you activate whole mesh, it brings it there. But if you activate the front part in this such a situation, you have to activate that. You make sure that it's move in exactly on the front part, does not go here in that situation. And as you can see, it's placed correctly. Yeah, it's placed correctly. Nice. They has to be there. You can activate symmetry, don't forget. And it has to be somewhere there. Yeah. Here. And as you can see, we have a guide that you can, it is go at the, in this situation, you make whole mesh. Nice. We have a guide for that marker. And everything is correct for our body. And I have to explain the mask with another character. And here you can join opacity, very simple, and the join size. If you want, you can make it. For disabling some, for example, this is root of our all leg, or in some situation that our character does not have any part, foot or leg or hand, you can deactivate it. Okay, it's nice at the center, and you can come back and make it. For example, this leg, you can activate mask. And as you can see, all of the leg part are mask. Reset all mask if you want, or uncheck that. Look at these images. For example, this character, I bring that character for you. In this character, as you can see, we don't have any leg. So you have to mask these parts that does not consider in calculation for our animation. It's important, don't forget that. Or in some situation like this. For example, the character, it's not in a completely symmetrical and A pose. And we don't want to this part be in an animation. That the next step we check animation, and we don't want to be create a bone for these parts, because from modeling we don't want to move this part of hand, and we click it and automatically mask. For example, in this hand, because we have a symmetry, it's masked symmetrically. If you want to mask symmetrically, active symmetrically, whole hand, two hands will be masked. You can uncheck reset all mask. So if you want just hand, make sure that you turn off symmetry. And this is for mask. It's very simple. You can use such that simulation. Okay, in the next step, you have to, or you can reset all of these settings. In the next step, you have to go and rig right hand. Going to the next lesson. Hello, my friends. To continue these tutorials on YouTube, subscribe us, like us, and hit the bell icon. And now you will be alerted about all of the amazing videos that we release.